Listen, have you noticed the incredible concert that's going on outside these days? Day and night and day. It is just amazing. The birds are singing like I have not heard them sing since I was a little bitty girl. The grass is a shade of green that I have not seen in forever. And how about the way the wind is blowing through these gorgeous budding trees and bushes? Man, what a season this is, right? It's a season of beauty and a season to dare not ignore God's good creation. I know that we could probably complain a lot about all of what is not happening and what should be happening, but I think it's important for us to pay attention. Pay attention. Remember those two simple words that God said over and over again in the creation story? That's good. Even in the midst of COVID-19, it's still good, or as the young people would say, it's all good. Ecclesiastes reminds us that in everything there's a season. There's a time for every matter under the heavens, a time for giving birth and a time for dying, a time for planting and a time for uprooting, a time for killing and a time for healing, a time for tearing down and a time for building up, a time for crying and a time for laughing, a time for mourning and a time for dancing, a time for throwing stones and a time for gathering stones, a time for embrace. And surely this is not that time, is it? But still a time to avoid embrace, a time for searching, a time for losing, a time for keeping, and a time for throwing away, a time for tearing and a time for repairing, a time for keeping silent and a time for speaking, a time for loving and a time for hating, a time for war and a time for peace. It's a season of beauty. It's a season of love. It's a season of dis-ease. And yet, in everything, we give thanks. Why? Because it's all good.